Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Sunday Messages. It's been a minute since I've done a PTA episode, so let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, so diving into prayers, this first one is for Francina, and I'm in full agreement for a fair and equitable agreement on both sides in court. Full agreement. I'm in full agreement for the universe to accommodate everyone involved and affected. Full agreement. This next one is just general prayer for money, prayer for job, prayer for relationship. Full agreement. Anything that you need. I am in full agreement for you to come to the awareness and realization that it is already done. It is already available. It is always trying to make its way to you, and for you to feel that as being true and relevant in this situation. Full agreement. Okay, I'm going to shift gears into a little bit of housekeeping, just so all of you know. I have had a new vision for the PTA episodes. And so they're probably going to be going into a transition at some point in the next month or so, which means that the submission form is going to be changing, how it's designed, the segments are going to be changing, and there's a lot of good stuff coming. So I just wanted to give you all a heads up, and I actually think that I'm going to be adding a celebration segment. I feel like all of us could use some celebrations. And I know that for a lot of people, there's not really a place to send their celebrations. And so this is something that I'm going to be adding. I will let you all know when I make that available for you to submit, so we can all celebrate you, so we can all be in full agreement for more and more and more. So you can, talk about all of the magic in your life, and I can guarantee you that the stories you submit will be wildly helpful for other people. So anyway, that is something that's coming that I wanted to let you all know about. And of course, I have sub coming up here in a couple of weeks. So right now I'm playing with the 18th as our start date for sub for the live calls. And there's going to be 3 of them. So there's going to be the lecture, there's going to be a story time where I am giving you all the juicy details about my love life and surrender and just having to submit to the universe and all of that good stuff. And then we will have a Q&A. So for those of you who don't know, I have a class called Dom, which I ran last year. It's about having a dominant relationship to the universe. And of course, we have to even things out and include a teaching about surrender, submission, just this sacred, holy, delicious, sexy, expansive form of submission. So if you would like to retract your claws from your manifestations, if you would like to take a chill pill, relax, and actually learn how to make surrender feel good for you, sub is the place to be. And by request, I have also added some payment plans for you as well. So if you need a little bit more time or if you want smaller payments, that is also available to you as well. So make sure you get in. There's also a bundle option if you want Dom and sub together. That's a discounted price if you buy them together at the same time. And my God, we are going to have a lot of fun in that class. So I'm excited to see you all there, and it's going to be a really good time. So the link will be in the show notes, or you can go to onyxhealing.com/sub, S-U-B, and I will see you all soon. Now, I got an advice column request, but it's reading more like a prayer request. So I'm just going to speak to the elements that I think want to be spoken to. But this is for Sabrina, and this is all about moving out of your family's home within the next few weeks. And there's spiders, sleeping trouble, around negative family members. I hear you. So I'm in full agreement for this to be an easy transition for you to keep yourself available to the right living situation, the right opportunity. I'm in full agreement for it to be buttery smooth, for it to feel really good, for it to feel like an easy step for you to take. That's the main thing. I'm in full agreement for ease. And the one piece of advice that I'll give you on this is just to know it's done. Like, know how many homes are available, how many rooms are available for rent, how much is out there. So make sure you're taking a really abundant mindset with this in particular, and that you allow yourself to be an energetic match for the right one. Let the universe do the sorting for you, and that will make this way easier on your system. So if you feel any franticness, make sure you regulate yourself and really take an approach where you just are holding the confidence that the right place is going to show up and it's going to be easy. I would talk to yourself in a way where you emphasize, oh my God, this was so easy. This was so effortless. Oh my God, Sydney was right. This is a piece of cake. Everything feels so natural. This is just the next step for me. I can't believe how I could just sit back, relax, minimally exert energy, and everything just clicked into place. Like, speak to yourself from that magical, this is how I want it to go kind of energy. And when you're in a bad mood, stay far away from the topic of moving. Got it? That's key. Okay, this one is for Brandon. And it says, I have a huge opportunity with a class and career change. I would love some prayers for that. Full agreement for the path to be clear, for it to unfold in a really pleasurable way, and for you to continually hold the energy and anchor in that this is going to be great. No matter how I land, it's going to be awesome. So I am in full agreement for that. Now, here's the advice segment. Now, based on this message, I have a feeling that I definitely don't have all the details on this just from the way that it's reading. So I'm kind of filling in some blanks. So disregard, if I misinterpret something about this, just disregard it. But I'm going to interpret it how I think you mean this. So I'm kind of reading between the lines. So the first piece, it sounds like you're asking me, what's the easiest way to neutralize a rough living situation? The simple answer is you've got to pry your eyes and your mind away from the difficult parts, and you have to reorient your focus on the things that you love. They do not need to be directly connected to the living situation. You just have to adjust your focus as much as you can, so that leaks into the living situation. So that is going to be the fastest, and it's going to be the simplest and the easiest. Okay, now the next piece is, I know I want to move out when I get the big boy job, and that will also require a massive shift in the way I live my life. Is this just the energetic change clearing everything out to make room for some really awesome stuff that's dropping in? I think you're pointing back to the living situation and saying, I have some bullshit going on at home. Is this a part of the process as I evolve? And maybe, of course, that does happen, where if you tune yourself to the place where dysfunctional things can't stick in your field, then yeah, it can look a little bit chaotic as things transition out. So that's where that episode where I described everything that happened with my sister would apply here, because it looked nuts from the outside. It looked chaotic. It may have looked crazy, but it was energetically sound. I was in a frequency that she couldn't dwell in, and so she had to leave my experience. This is also why we don't communicate. It's like there's such a difference in frequency that we can't really hang out in each other's experience at this point in time. And that's okay. So you might be experiencing that type of situation where there's some fallout because of where you've tuned yourself. However, this is not to say that it has to stay rough or it has to be miserable or it has to feel bad. That's definitely not the case. Because even when there was a lot of difficult stuff going on with my sister and her living here, it's like I was still super focused on my own pleasure, my own projects, my own satisfaction, what I have going on in my life, the things that I'm creating. Like I didn't just say, this is going to be a permanently rough experience. I didn't overly emphasize that. It's you want to emphasize something else in order to temper the situation and get things to even out a bit. It was, I could have overly emphasized the difficulty, or I could just tune myself to something else, which is what I did, and everything else worked itself out. When you're referring to, is this an energetic change, just clearing everything out and making room for the awesome stuff? That is, think about it a little bit differently. Think about everything already is. All realities already exist. Your attunement to frequencies are what allow them to come into visible range. So like in Fabric of the Universe, when I'm talking about the visual color spectrum, right? So that's what we're really talking about here. And when you think about the awesome stuff that's dropping in, let's switch that around into the things that you are attuning yourself to in order to be able to see and witness in real time. Do you feel the difference? Can you see the difference in that? It's a really, really specific energetic refinement aspect of this situation. But think about it like that. The more you tune yourself to things that you want, the more they show up, and things that are not an energetic match for that have to shift out of your visible range. So it's more about the revealing process than anything else. I think that's like the heart of your question. So I hope I answered that correctly. All right, friends, let's pull some tarot and then we will wrap up. Okay, first thing, 9 of Pentacles. Way more success and prosperity than I think you are. It's like either more is available, hold the energy longer, or start giving yourself credit for what you've already done. So to me, this is reading a little bit like it's sitting right in front of your face. You have way more evidence than you realize. So you want to focus on that. Think about it, talk about it, celebrate it. You know, if you're going to talk to a friend, let it be, look at how much I've created. Now, you can do this with what you've already done, how far you've already come, or if you can get there about the things that are oncoming and you can do it in a way that is genuine and isn't coming from, oh, way off into the future, the things that I haven't experienced yet. If you can do it without feeling lack or doubt or sad about it, then it's effective. So you'll just have to feel that out for yourself. But it looks like there's a lot that wants your attention that's already in your experience. So don't forget to acknowledge what has already occurred. And then we have the 8 of Wands, movement, communication, forward progression. I'm getting this is going to be a really jam-packed week. Like there's a lot going on. There's a lot of fun. There's so much movement. It's a very high energy week. This is just looking really satisfying. And then what else? Ace of Cups. Okay, well, love is in the air, communication is in the air, celebration is in there. This is probably one of the best readings I've had on a PTA episode in months. Like, are you kidding me? The 9 of Coins, the 8 of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. That's a stellar lineup. I'm just telling you that right now. This is going to be a banging week. Focus on that. Expect it. Expect it. You've got to hold the energetic position first. This has the potential to be an extraordinary week. It has the potential to knock your socks off. It has the potential to be a week where you realize all of these things that have been adding up for you, all of these things that have been in the cooker, manifestations coming out of the wazoo. You feel me? You get what I'm talking about? So enjoy it, celebrate it, focus on it, anticipate it, expect it. Like, just get in the vibe. This is going to be a week where I'm getting, you will have a much easier time shifting into positive expectation. But you've got to intend, you've got to give it a shot. Give it a shot. See what happens when you just give yourself a higher dose of optimism and affirmative expectation and see what shakes out. It's going to be a banging week. All right, my friends, that is all that I have for you today. I love you so much. I appreciate you so much. You guys are the best. And I hope you all have an amazing week. Don't forget, if you do want to submit a prayer, advice column, anything like that, I will let you know when I edit and revise that submission form. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And that's a wrap. Thank you so much, everybody. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.